sharing my screen. Please let me know if you're all able to view my screen.
Yes, I know we can see your screen.
All right, then let's get started. So, hi everyone, welcome to the Adobe Analytics Champion User Group office hours for the month of August for the APAC EMEA regions. So, we have three champions here today. So, I have Isha and Abhinav here with me, along with Mandy supporting us chat. So we'll start with a quick introduction of ourselves. So we'll start with Isha.
Yep, sure. Thanks, Anu. Thanks everyone for joining. Hi, I am based out of Ireland. I'm in Dublin right now. Currently, I'm working at S&P Global. I've recently joined S&P Global as Associate Director Digital Analytics. I am working in digital analytics for last 11 years, and it would be my third year in Champions program this year. It has been and this office hours are always wonderful because we get to have so many amazing questions from all of you, and we get to learn so much. Thanks everyone again. Over to you, Abhinav.
Thanks, Isha. Hello. Hi, everyone. I am Abhinav. I work as manager for data analytics with Publicis Sapient. And this is my first year as Adobe Analytics champion. And this is technically my third or fourth office hours. So looking forward to contribute in terms of answering any questions or queries that we have.
Thanks, Abhinav. Hi everyone, this is Anu. I'm working as a senior associate in the data analytics team at Public Recipient. I'm based out of India. I have around 9+ years of working at Adobe Analytics and Adobe Target. This is my second year in the champion program. So yeah, looking forward to share some exciting updates about CJ and Adobe Analytics and answering your questions, and also looking forward to learning something new today. So I think we can start with our session today. So, before we start, I just wanted to share that this meeting will be recorded. And once the meeting is over, this will be uploaded in the Adobe Analytics Champion User Group YouTube channel. So, the link is shared here. That will be shared over the chat as well. So, you can go through that YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see the meeting recordings for the previous sessions as well. So, yeah, let's get started with our topics for today. So, here's the first question that's about AI reporting. The question is, I'd like to know more about AI search reporting, please. What are the options of distinguishing between AI search results or just SEO search results in reporting? Is there any insight available yet on how these AI results are really being generated? In particular, is there some element of paid influence? So I'll just start with that. So again, that brings us to a new product release update about the AI traffic analysis. So we have something new that has been like released in October, I believe. That's about a new referrer type dimension item in for AI traffic analysis. So this would be called conversational AI tools, and this would allow you to look at the trends of like AI traffic as a whole. And the initial list would contain the major AI platforms like ChatGPT, Cloud, Grok, Gemini, Perplexity, etc. And well, this is only available in Adobe Analytics and Adobe Analytics related tools like Workspace, Report Builder, Data Warehouse, and Data Feeds. So one more thing is that like I think this is going to be something that would evolve over time because the AI traffic and different kinds of AI platforms are like evolving day by day, and there'll be new like players as well. So this would only be becoming in picture in October, but in the meantime, if anyone is interested to do the same thing, then we can also leverage the existing setup using browsing tools, or even like even setting up something separate in marketing channels. So these are the way to go about it. But I'm not entirely sure about the paid influence within the AI traffic. Like once this feature is out, probably we'd get to know more. But Abhinav, Isha, would you like to add something more?
Sure, I can go next. So I think this is one of the major traffic sources that we see would develop over a period of time, with a lot of search-based interactions now happening on the chat AI applications rather than using the search engines. And I think we had a similar query from one of our client who wanted to understand how much of the website traffic today that we are getting is coming via the chat AI applications or AI applications directly. So instead of people searching on a search engine and then clicking on the hyperlinks to land on the website, they wanted to understand how many of the users are actually coming via chat agents and researching on their products from there itself. So one of the interesting things that we notice is some of the major chat AI agents today, once you click on the hyperlinks which are provided to you as part of your prompt response, they do contain query string parameters to add so that you can set up your marketing channels or set up any defined rules in your analytics platform to see how many of these are coming directly by searching on a chat AI agent. But with this release in itself, I think it resolves setting up custom marketing channels to identify that traffic. This would be an out of box dimension which would be available to see how many people are actually coming as referrals from the AI agents on the websites.
Yeah. Thanks, Abhinav. Isha, would you like to add anything?
I think already you guys have covered most of it. I think the only thing I would like to add or just call out is that this would probably this would be a new dimension, right? So if you want to still, I mean, just to keep it, just to compare something that I've done in my previous organization, just created a Gen AI marketing channel and I added whatever data was coming. So I think it would just be a good time to analyze your current referring domains report and see where what all sources you can identify that AI traffic is coming from. And some organizations may even have their internal AI tools. So if at all you guys want to add that as well in your in the report, because this would be a default by default populated by Adobe. So always feel free to create a separate marketing channel for conversational AI or Gen AI, in which you can add other other Gen AI tools as well, such as your internal tools to distinguish the traffic that is coming from different AI tools. I think that's it.
Absolutely. And I think even Adobe mentioned that we can contact them once it is released if we see that they're a popular site that is not included in this list. So it's going to be under the referred type report, but as a separate dimension, referred type dimension item called conversational AI tools. So yeah. So yeah, one more thing is that this would be applicable only to Adobe Analytics, and there will be so many updates going with CJA. So
Yeah,
this is one
that's
item that
amazing.
is specific for yeah,
Yeah, definitely
yeah,
looking forward to it.
yeah. All right, so let's go to the next one. This is a generic question. Just exploring new product offerings from Adobe. So we've curated a couple of new features within Adobe Analytics and CJ in here. But before we start with that, do you have something, Isha, on this?
Um, yeah, I think, I mean, most of the, like you just mentioned, that most of the product, uh, the updates that are coming within CJ right now. For example, the data insights agent that
Yes.
recently came, and that was amazing, right? It just allows you to have a conversational interaction with the data. Apart from that, of course, this AI tool, it's a new thing that's coming in. CJA just has a new B2B edition. so I've not yet gotten to work with CJ B2B, but it is something exciting, right? It has the buying groups and very enterprise level support and insights that you can get directly from it. Apart from it, I think most of them are like there are some other AI agents. So recently it was announced that within AEP there will be many AI agents. So agentic AI is big these days, right? So in agentic, so AEP will have. I think there were some 8 AI agents that there were going to be present by default. So that's something that can be leveraged for sure. Then there is Adobe Marketing Agent for Microsoft 365 Copilot that's going to be there, and you can integrate it with Copilot to enable conversational access to analytics data. I think, and then of course content analytics. Then content Adobe has also launched content analytics, which is I think again something very accessible, very much in CJA, and you can, if your website is heavily relied on content, that you can definitely look at content analytics.
Yeah.
That's all I'm aware of. I mean, Avinanu.
Yeah, thanks, Lodisha, for that. So we've also curated some of the new product release items from this month. So we can also go through that. So Isha has already mentioned quite a few. So these are the new ones in the latest product release. So since this question wasn't like really specific about what like, very narrow down on the specific part to be answered. So just curated some of these updates from both CJ and Adobe Analytics. So first is about again the new referrer type dimension item in the AI traffic analysis. So we've already gone through this. So only thing to note that is I think it will be available in October, and it will be only for Adobe Analytics. So shall we move to the next one?
Sure.
Yeah. So the second one is about projects delivered as PDFs are now directly downloaded to your workstation. So earlier, when we click on the download, like it would open as the report would open in a new tab, and then we have to like specifically click on download from there to like download it to our personal devices. But now that is like being resolved like it would be directly downloaded to our system, and that is being supported with both CGA and Adobe Analytics. So what are your thoughts on this, Abhinav and Nisha?
I think this is a small but very useful change. Earlier, we need to save or download a PDF. It opens as a new tab in the browser, and then you either need to do a Control P or Control S to save that as a PDF in your local file system. But with this, it actually skips one of these steps or two of these steps that we need to perform in order to save a PDF on the local file system. So a little more convenience for the analysts to share the PDF exports directly from their local file systems. Isha, any thoughts you would like to add?
No, I think yeah, it's very straightforward as you both already mentioned, and it definitely saves time. Whenever, as you just called out, the only thing is yeah, whenever the only thing is yeah, when you have the PDF downloaded, just make sure to see the visualizations that you want have been expanded or collapsed as per your liking, and it's always good to add proper text visualizations whenever you are sharing the PDFs with other team members, so that they know which panel comes next and what to look for in the next visualization. So I think that's the only call out.
All right, yeah. Then let's move on to the next one. This is about the deleted projects being immediately unavailable by URL and are deleted from scheduled deliveries. So Abhinav, would you like to go?
Sure. And I think as part of this, this is supposed to be generally available as probably by the end of August this month itself, and it gives ability to so technically once you delete a project, their scheduled reports and delivery are automatically deleted. Earlier, there was a grace period of 60 days before the scheduled deliveries would be available, and then later on they got deleted. But with this, projects are immediately deleted from the scheduled deliverables and no longer accessible by their URL. So I think a good update, we don't need to delete a project and then go to the schedule manager, reporting schedule manager to delete that project individually from the scheduled deliveries that have been set up. It automatically deletes it from there.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah.
Isha, would you like to add something to it?
No, really, I haven't worked with this one yet. I didn't have to delete anything yet, but
Only thing
I'm
is,
just
like,
thinking,
it deletes from our end, and if we've already scheduled that to the client, and then if we
thinking
like,
what will happen if
yeah,
somebody accidentally deletes something they don't mean to delete it. I think we just have to be careful with the admin access or
yeah,
retaining
absolutely.
copies. So what I usually do is whenever I create a dashboard for my users, right? I create a dashboard, and if it is a like a comprehensive dashboard, something that I know is going to be used by a large team, who most of them who have no know-how of Adobe Analytics. I mean, they're just a data consumer. They don't really create reports. So I often share that dashboard in the company folder so that it's
Mhm.
available to everyone. But I keep one copy to myself. So that kind of preserves whenever somebody accidentally deletes or updates something and they are kind of looking to get it back. So I always have a copy available. So I think that is the only thing, that if at all you're working on something very crucial, and if you think there is huge amount of time is going into creating some dashboard, so it's always good to retain a copy. But
Yeah,
at the same time, it kind of creates an extra work for you, that if somebody requests some updates, then you have to kind of do it at the both places. So of course, see how it best fits as per your need. But definitely this is a good feature, but has to be used carefully.
very carefully. Yeah. Yeah, and also not related to this, but then I would always like if I'm shared with workspace projects, I like make a copy of that and then work on the new copy, just to make sure that like if we are doing some changes at a halfway through, and then we don't want others to like interfere with that. That's like always better to do. And then with the new introduction of being able to copy like panels from one workspace to another, that's really helpful in such cases of combining final versions of your reports. Yeah. So let's go to the next one. It's about map visualization in CJ. This is also a latest update. So Apina, would you like to go with this one?
Sure. I think this is one of the recent releases as part of CGA itself. So map visualization has been part of Adobe Analytics for some time, but last I checked, it only allows you to plot geo-segmented cities and countries. But with CJA, because you have ability to track latitude and longitude level details depending upon your implementation, you can get more precision in the maps that you are actually plotting in customer journey analytics. And if you see this, it used to be one of the very powerful feature that you earlier used to exist at the BI platform levels. But with this integrated into workspace directly, it makes life so much easier for analysts to showcase different regions, cities, even a little more granular level of details with respect to how different events or people are interacting with their digital brand properties.
All right. So I haven't really explored this. So Isha, do you have any thoughts on this?
Not yet, really. I haven't even gotten much into CJA yet, so can't really comment.
Sure. All right. Let's move to the next segment. So we have also curated some content related to the end of life notices. We have the ones for Legacy Report Builder and also Adobe Analytics API like 1.4. So I think we've already mentioned about the Adobe Analytics API in like multiple other sessions as well, but we just keep on getting these reminders. So For the Adobe Analytics APIs, for the version 1.4, that's going to be August 12th, 2026. We have like one more year. But yeah, if anyone is still using that or relying on that, then please do make sure that you get updated to the latest version before that time. And then we have the legacy report builder. And again, for that also, I think it's August 12th, 2026. So, Abhinav, would you like to go into details about the report builder one?
Sure. So I think these are the two major features which are actively used by the analysts for different automation, at least for the reporting perspective, and both of them are planned for end of life August next year itself. I can quickly talk about the API access first. So 1.4 API, we even in our current projects, we have been using this actively for a lot of data pipelines to fetch reporting metrics, which gets added to some data warehouse, then further reflecting in the BI dashboard. That means we need to refresh all our pipelines moving forward to use API 2.0 instead of 1.4, as well as we do also have, I think API 1.4 has a lot of documentation boilerplate codes available, so there would be a lot of automations with respect to Adobe Analytics that have been built over a period of times using them, and now with the end of life for them, we would need to find equivalent methods in 2.0 and then migrate all of this existing automations in place. So this would be one of the major changes with less than 1 year for the deprecation or end of life for them. For Report Builder itself, I did get a chance to review the newer Report Builder itself, which is a good extension to the earlier one. The only difference at high level that I could find is that instead of downloading it directly from the Adobe Analytics UI console, you need to install the new Report Builder tool from the Microsoft Excel App Store.
Okay.
And then it still has the concept of blocks. You can build multiple reports, refresh those reports together. So all in all, it's the functionality remains the same. It has same pivot kind of a builder where you can give your dimension, matrix, state ranges, select different report suites. So that all ability remains as is, but it does have a very fresh UI and it's more intuitive if you see.
Okay, good to know that. And I think there was a session in the skill exchange by Jen on report builder.
Nice. I think that would be a must watch for it.
And I think they also included support for, like, I think earlier version was only for Windows, right? This one is also available for Mac.
Okay.
It supports web browsers as well. So because, like Abhira mentioned, it would be a plugin directly from uh, plugin from Excel. So yeah, and it has drag and drop functionality. Earlier, I think you have to go and select dimensions. So it the UI is definitely intuitive and better. Even I haven't worked a lot on this now, but yeah, just from watching and seeing what is going around, but it definitely is easier to work with than the previous one.
Okay. All right. So we are at the end of the pre-submitted questions now. We can take any.
You would probably need to refresh. I know Mandy said there is one more question,
Okay.
and there is one from Nitesh as well on WebSTK.
Okay. So this one is on SDK. I'll just read it out. We're currently working on migrating our implementation from app measurement to WebSDK for Adobe Analytics. At present, we perform anonymous tracking for users who deny consent. With approval from our legal team, we restrict the Adobe visitor cookie to persist only for the session. This means that for users in GDPR regions who deny consent, we track them with a different ECID for each browser session. Okay, and then they have this approval from their legal team. In app measurement, this is easily managed by setting the cookie lifetime to session. This option is not available in the WebSDK anymore. However, with WebSDK, the easy ID is deterministically derived from the first party ID, that is FPID, returned by the server. Since user consent is only provided after the page response, which already includes the FPID, the server does not have any information about the user's consent status at the time the FPID is issued. Additionally, the FPID is configured with a long expiry period, which makes it persistent across sessions. With this setup, we are unable to limit the persistence of the ECID to a single session. While this can be addressed through certain workarounds, those are not the preferred approach. Do you have any recommendations for handling this use case?
So if I understand correctly, the requirement is to expire the new cookies which said ECID on the web SDK.
Yeah, within that single session, if they deny the cookie, right? They are tracking with the approval from a legal team, restrict the Adobe visitor cookie to persist only for the session, and they want to perform anonymous tracking for users who deny consent.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer to that yet. I would need to check the documentation if there is a method which is available, which lets you specify the cookie lifetime equivalent as part of WebSDK itself.
Even I wouldn't have an experience in it, but uh, just something, if you have a um, if you have a identifier such as users ID or something, that if it is a gated uh, website, or if you have some sort of identifier, then you can use that to populate your unique visitor variable that will kind of override ECID method. So that's just something that you can explore, and that will allow you to have cross session stitching as well as cross device stitching. That's only recommended if you have some sort of identifier.
All
And
right.
Ivana said from GDPR perspective, this level of tracking is not allowed without consent. That's also that with GDPR there are a lot of constraints, and there has been many changes recently. So yeah, it's becoming bit more difficult now to track and get users consent. And given number of users who are using different devices in incognito modes, and the education that goes around that you should clear your browser cookies frequently to stop getting tracked, which actually stop getting personalized ads, is kind of making us lose a lot of data, and it kind of lets us go into a situation where we hit the wall in identifying users as the same user across different channels and across different platforms, sometimes across just different sessions.
That
Yeah.
totally makes sense. I think a lot of modern browsers have started implementing enhanced tracking protection or ITPs to make sure that the MarTech or known tracker cookies they have a restricted lifespan on the browser. Or if user wants, they can set up or configure their browser settings to make sure the known trackers they are blocked automatically by the browser. So technically there is no cookies or no data tracked for them.
All right. So, if anyone who's attending, if you have a different perspective or have a more clear answer to this, please feel free to share that over the chat. Yeah. So, do we have any more questions, or Isha Rabna, would you like to talk about any other updates or features?
I think I'm good. If we let me just quickly scroll through the chat to see if we have any more questions.
Meanwhile, Abhinav is doing that. No updates as such. I'm just excited about the CJ B2B edition.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, we even in my current organization we don't have it yet. But we are looking at it. So if I get to work on CJA, then I think in the coming office hours I'll have probably more perspective to share on that. And I think
Looking forward to that, Isha. Yeah.
the whole system is changing right now with the
Mm-hmm.
web SDK, data streams, AEP.
Yeah,
and integrations, so it's kind of becoming more complicated now. So definitely it's time to kind of just sit and skill up.
yeah. And we need to keep upscaling because there are new features coming in every other day.
Exactly.
And even the platform looks different if you're not in for like, a few days or weeks, then it's totally different.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do we have anything else in the chat or
I don't see any additional questions in the chat.
all right? If not questions, is there any like new features or updates that you want us to go through or discuss? You can also share that. And by the way, I just wanted to check, are they sharing the recordings for the skill exchange sessions? I haven't received, but I did attend a few sessions. Just wanted to
It
check if
must,
the
yeah,
recording
it
has.
must be on the skill exchange page. So I'll just share it. It gets automatically uploaded on the
Okay.
Adobe Analytics Skill Exchange. Let me just find the.
Yeah, that's really helpful. So if you don't have any more questions or discussion points, then I think we're good to close this one.
Sure.
Sure. All right.
Is there anything else in the chat?
I am just trying to scroll through.
Mandy is asking what's your go-to resources for learning.
That's
Yeah.
an interesting one. Do
Yeah.
you do you want to talk about it, Anu, first, or Isha?
I'd go through that. So for me, it's mostly Experience League, and then all the like learning paths or tutorial videos that they've uploaded as part of that. And I must say, I've even cleared certifications. With obviously being at Sapient, I do have access to Sandbox, but then you don't always get to work on all technologies in the client projects, right? So for CDP and all, I've exclusively gone through the Experience League tutorials and then like bit of hands-on in a sandbox environment, and that is how I cleared my certifications. So anyone who is looking to start with any of the Experience Cloud solutions, I would absolutely recommend Experience League. It's being more democratized in terms of the content now. Earlier it used to be solution partner portal that used to have more content and exclusive in topics and all. But these days, Experience League is also updated with like almost major points actually need to follow through. And if you actually follow through such like tutorial kind of documentation that's there, right? That would absolutely help you with all of that. And then if you are trying to learn something new and then want to know like what others are doing around the world on that, you can always go to the Experience League community page on that product. So say for analytics, we have the Adobe Analytics community page. Then looking at these questions, you would understand like what different people are doing in their projects, and you would only be doing a part of that in your project or in your team. But then a lot of other things happening, and then all this would be shared as questions. Like when people have those questions, they'll be sharing it in the Experience Lake community, and also you can always share your ideas if you want a new feature to be implemented. You can always share that, and then if enough number of people do support that, then that could even make it to the actual like feature list one day. So yeah, I would my first go-to platform would be Experience League. Asia and Abhinav, please do share your thoughts as well.
So I tend to like, I'm not sure if other folks have explored this part yet, but there are very good tutorials which are available as part of experience like documentation, especially on web SDK implementation and RTCDP implementation. So I tend to recommend this to my colleagues as well. The process is very step by step. It breaks down the entire life cycle of implementation, starting from the user management or governance, the permission part itself, towards the end-to-end execution of a low-level use case to make sure everything that we are building as part of this tutorial is working as expected. And the best part is the documentation in itself has the examples of the code snippets that you need to use to create different data elements, rules, naming conventions. So everything is so well documented. You only have to follow it step by step to gauge your understanding, and it's more of a hands-on approach. So you learn by reading through the documentation itself, and you get to test out different features on your sandbox environment. So that's one of the key resources that I always reach back to, and I do tend to use these tutorials because they get updated from time to time. So any new feature which is available now, that gets integrated into these tutorials as well. So it's a good refresher if even if you have done in the past as well. Apart from that, I think if preparing for certifications, I find Solution Partner Portal very informative. There are key learning paths which are available. The documentation, video tutorials, they're super helpful if you're just starting out on something new as a product itself. So these are my two go-to resources, and then the third one is the Google search. If you know a specific problem that you are trying to solve, it's easier to do a quick Google search to find a bunch of Adobe documentation to see what information is available on them so that you can reference it and see if it actually solves what you're looking forward for. So these are my top three resources that I tend to use.
Thanks, Abhinav. How about you, Isha?
Thanks, Anu and Abhinav. I think you've covered most of it. So I would start by saying that that there is a difference the way people different type of people consume learning, right? Some people like to read, some people like to learn by videos, some people like to learn only by execution. So, and some people are just combination, right? So I think it really depends. And the good thing is that Adobe has resources for to cater for needs of all different types of people. So if you are a reading person like me, that you just like to, stifle through the documentation from the beginning, I think the best thing is that you just go to Adobe's help documentation. For example, if you're learning about a new tool, let's say Market to Measure, or let's say just CJA, so just go to just search for the documentation, and Adobe has a whole navigation in the left side, and you have the step-by-step process. And like Abhinav mentioned, you will have the entire process. You will also get the sandbox access, so you can learn by reading as well as executing. If you like to go through the videos, then of course Solution Partner Portal is a very good resource. But it unfortunately, most of the companies will not get access to it. For example, if you are working for a product, you will not get access to Solution Partner Portal, because they simply are not a solution partner, right? So I used to push that a lot with my previous companies, but then I understood the fact that if your company is a customer and they are not a partner, they are never going to be that. But good thing is that now you have resources available outside of it. So you will have Experience League, where you have catered courses depending on your role. So if you are just a business user, or if you are a developer, or you want to learn implementation, or you want to extract insights, just choose your role and your appropriate learning path, and you will have the learnings available to you within. One very good thing is within the tool itself. So whichever tool you are in, you will see, if you let's say if you go to marketing channels within Adobe Analytics, there is a link to documentation there itself. So it's always good if you are anytime learning to work on a new feature, or even if it's an existing feature but the UI is changed, or you just like to simply like to know more, just click on the link and see what all updates has happened. For example, recently the UI for data warehouse requests got updated, classification rules got updated. So it's very handy to see that there is a new tab of locations that is added now where you can configure your destination. So you go there and then you click on the destinations or configuring locations tab in Adobe Analytics, and that will land you straight on the place that you need to go to learn more about. Then within the Adobe certification portal, for each type of certification, there is a whole set of learning available. So if you're preparing for a certification, those reading materials are amazing. I would say just go through them. They will guide you through each step and each type of concept. So if you're really looking to gauge your conceptual understanding, they're really good in that terms. Apart from that, there is a Adobe Analytics has a YouTube channel. So if you like to just go through the videos and look at different type of content, for example, the implementation playlist, they have a and the good thing is that it starts from the very basics. So it will start even for a user who has no idea of digital analytics yet. So it will give you a business understanding as well as technical understanding, and by the end of the courses you will feel yourself much more learned than you were before. Then, of course, Adobe's advocacy team has lots of experiences and lots of adoption programs that are going on, for office hours being one of them, skill exchange being another. Then there are other, if you will go to Experience League, there are frequent Ask Me Anything sessions that are held. There are different type of webinars that happen every now and then. So you just go to Adobe's website and you can learn from others experiences. Then there is another thing called as user groups. So if you're not a part of user group, I would highly recommend that you become part of some. So user groups has those very very highly personalized and expert sessions led discussions where users are sharing the problems and the whole implementation. For example, there was recently uh, a user group session on this migration of WebSDK, migration to WebSDK from app measurement. Then there was some on the migration from Adobe Analytics to CJA. So you will find from the real use cases the challenges that users have faced, and it's always good to learn from others' experiences rather than committing the same mistakes and then trying to find what you can find on Google. Then of course there are conversational AI tools like ChatGPT if there is something specific. Of course that's not reliable and that's not always 100% true. But if you are looking for some straightforward facts from the documentation and you don't want to stifle through documentation, for example, let's say you just want to know what's Adobe Analytics retention data retention period policy is. So you can of course Google it, but you can just get it from a conversational AI. It will tell you it's 25 months straightforward. So that's how I usually go through different sets of learning. But of course, it just depends on the kind of content you'd like to consume.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was really helpful, Isha. So that also brings me to like one more point about certification renewal. So once you are certified, then you can renew all your certifications free of cost. So anyone who's cleared their certifications in early 2023, I think they'd extended the validity, or later in late 2022 as well. They had extended the validity until October 2025. So that is like uh, probably it's worth checking all your certification portals and see like when is your certification expiring. So if you have something like expiring soon, it's like always better to like get it renewed in time. So you just need to complete to small courses, or video tutorials, and then there'll be like a small quiz associated with that, which you can take any number of times. So it's very easy to renew like your certifications these days. So please do make good usage of that. So yeah, and please do remember this timeline of October. I think it's October 5th. So most of this certifications sat with her around 2 years before it got auto renewed until October this year. And one more thing is that if you have like certifications in different levels of a product, say if you have BP, developer, and architect for Adobe Analytics, you only need to like do it for architect, and rest of that would be like cleared and like renewed automatically. And that goes with your new certification as well. If you are already a developer in PP and then you're trying to appear for architect, then like the time at which, or when you completed the architect level, that will be the one that will be taken, and then um, you can renew your certification 2 years from that specific architect certification.
Yeah. And the good thing is, if you, the higher level certificate, I don't know if you already mentioned it, but if you, let's say, renew architect and you have VP and professional, they will automatically get renewed.
Yes,
So
absolutely. Yeah,
just
that's a good
renew
part.
one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you have three certifications, you just get, you get to renew all three of them just by passing that single exam, or that two tutorials and the quiz. Yeah. Anybody has any more topics?
Ivana has asked one more question in chat. I will read it out. If anyone has Web SDK implementation knowledge, if you track the same properties in the data layer for all web interactions, but let's say for some interactions you have some extra specific variables, how would you manage this in the configuration? Separate rules for conditions in place, or one single rule where some variables will be empty at times? I have no idea about it, so maybe either of
I
you can
think
take it.
from what I understand is so there are scenarios where you need some variables to be tagged for specific events which might not be applicable to other set of events. If my understanding is correct about the question, I think the best approach would be to have a global variable set event rule first, which would be your consolidated list of attributes that are must track. And from there onwards, you can have two different event based rules which would only append the required values to the base object that you have created. All right.
Okay. I think we're good to close then.
Yeah. All right. So thanks everyone for attending, and thanks Isha and Abhinav for presenting. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you for
everyone.
attending.
Have a nice
Bye.
one.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.